What if 6 powerful numbers this July, when focused on with clarity and intention, could bring you all the abundance and financial breakthroughs you've been quietly praying for? Have you ever paused for a second in the middle of a stressful day and noticed a number repeating itself over and over again? At first glance, it seems random, but what if it's not? What if the universe is quietly trying to get your attention? In a world where we're constantly pulled in 100 directions, meetings, bills, responsibilities, and goals we haven't had time to chase, it's easy to overlook the quiet nudges that life sends our way. But sometimes hidden in plain sight are signs, and often they come in the form of numbers, patterns that hold meaning beyond logic, beyond coincidence, beyond chance. At Buddhism Trail, we dive into these deeper layers, the ancient teachings, the timeless truths, and the practical ways you can apply them in modern life to unlock not just material wealth, but inner peace, clarity, and purpose. And today, we're uncovering 6 sacred numbers that keep appearing during this rare energetic window. In July 2025, these numbers are more than digits. They've been linked across traditions and time to focus, abundance, and breakthrough success, not just in Buddhist numerology, but in the spiritual wisdom passed down for centuries. And there's more. Stay with me till the end, because I'll be revealing a bonus number. This one is special, known among spiritual practitioners to amplify manifestation. This number holds its true power only when you're genuinely ready to receive what you've been asking for, with faith, focus, and emotional alignment. So take a deep breath, center your mind, tap the like button, subscribe to Buddhism Trail, and drop a comment below. I welcome abundance and I follow the signs. Let's begin. Let's talk about the subtle power of the number 6, a number that rarely makes noise, but always leaves an impact. You ever notice how some phases of life feel like you're constantly sprinting, chasing deadlines, expectations, or just trying not to fall behind? But then there are rare moments when everything slows down, not because life got easier, but because you're being asked to tune in rather than keep up. That's the energy we're stepping into now. 2025 isn't here to overwhelm you. It's here to realign you. After the unpredictability and emotional weight of 2024, this year feels like a quiet reset. And right at the center of it all is the number 6, soft, healing, and rooted in wisdom. Not the kind of number that grabs attention, but the kind that brings deep change when you let it guide you. In Buddhist teachings and ancient spiritual traditions, the number 6 has always held sacred meaning. It speaks to compassion, emotional balance, inner healing, and the sanctuary we find in meaningful connections. The kind of wealth that's invisible but irreplaceable. It invites you to ask, what really matters? What's lasting? And what kind of foundation are you building your life on? 6 isn't about overnight success or flashy goals. It's about intention, consistency, and the quiet strength that comes from being grounded. It's the number that says, don't just go bigger, go deeper. Strengthen your relationships. Heal what's been ignored. Reconnect with your peace. Focus on what makes your life feel whole, not just what makes it look successful. And here's what's fascinating. As July unfolded, many people started feeling a shift. More clarity, a desire to simplify, to create from a place of presence, not pressure. That's not coincidence. That's energetic alignment. And those who are in tune with this shift, they're not just feeling better. They're noticing new opportunities, surprise financial growth, and emotional breakthroughs. Because when you stop rushing and start listening, you move in harmony with life, and life responds. So if the number 6 has been showing up in your daily life, on a clock, on receipts, in dreams, don't brush it off. It might be a gentle message from the universe, nudging you to slow down and listen, because sometimes the greatest abundance doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being more aligned. And that right there is where the transformation begins. Number 22, the quiet power of being prepared. Have you ever had that strange but peaceful feeling, like something good is coming? Even though nothing seems different on the outside. No loud signal, no big announcement. Just a quiet inner knowing? That's the energy behind the number 22. It's not here to impress or shock. It arrives like the soft light of dawn. Subtle, steady, and deeply powerful. If you've been noticing the number 22 showing up lately, on license plates, timestamps, receipts, or even random thoughts, take it as more than coincidence. This isn't about superstition. It's about subtle awareness. In spiritual teachings, and especially within Buddhist numerology, 22 is seen as a sacred marker, a sign that you're not waiting anymore. You're already approaching the door. While some numbers shout, 22 whispers. It doesn't belong to those chasing overnight success. It appears for those who have done the quiet, consistent work, the inner healing, the discipline, the stillness in storms. It's for the people who've been moving forward with intention, even when no one was watching, even when progress felt invisible. Let's break it down from a Buddhist perspective. The number 2 is often associated with harmony, patience, and balance, values central to the middle way. It's the reminder to stay centered between extremes, to keep your emotions in check, and to maintain inner peace, even in outer chaos. When 2 2s appear, that balance is doubled. A strong affirmation that you've matured through struggle, and your energy is aligning with the moment. That's meant for you. It's not about chasing. It's about arriving. And that's why 22 often appears not at the start, but near the turning point, when the thing you've been working toward is finally within reach. Whether that's financial stability, clarity of purpose, or a long-awaited breakthrough, 22 shows up to say, you're ready now. This July, especially with heightened spiritual energy flowing across the planet, 22 becomes even more important. It's not just a number. It's a reflection of everything you've become through your patience, focus, and trust in the process. So the next time you see it, don't just brush it off. Pause for a moment. Look around. Feel inward. Because that gentle signal might be life telling you, you're not becoming anymore. You've already become. And now, it's time to receive what's yours. Number 8. The energy of steady growth and inner strength. Have you ever noticed someone who doesn't rush, doesn't show off, but quietly keeps rising? They don't need to prove anything. Their actions speak. Their discipline radiates. And somehow, success finds them naturally. That's the silent signature of the number 8. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't bring overnight miracles. Instead, it shows up when you're ready to do the real work, the kind that transforms your foundation, not just your fortune. 8 is the number of grounded action. It carries a calm force, not like a storm, but more like the deep roots of a tree that withstands every season. While everyone else might be chasing shortcuts, this number invites you to slow down and build something that lasts. If you've been feeling scattered or unsure lately, 8 is the anchor. It's here to remind you, progress isn't about being everywhere. It's about being fully present, right where you are. Look at the shape of 8. 2 circles stacked in perfect balance. It's motion and stillness together. When turned sideways, it becomes the infinity symbol, a reminder that when you move with purpose, success is not a one-time event. It becomes a cycle, a flow, a rhythm, just like breath, just like nature. In July 2025, when the world feels fast and unpredictable, the presence of 8 is like a deep breath. In the middle of the noise, it asks you to choose focus over frenzy, to be intentional with your energy. While others may rush into every opportunity, 8 encourages you to build with care, to trust the long path, because that's where the real reward lies. According to Buddhist wisdom, abundance is not just measured by how much you have, but by how deeply you're rooted in your values while receiving it. Number 8 represents that sacred balance, where spiritual alignment meets material success. In many Eastern traditions, especially in Chinese culture. 8 is considered a sacred symbol of good fortune, inner authority, and karmic justice. But it doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It respects patience, resilience, and quiet confidence. So if 8 has been appearing in your life, on receipts, clocks, license plates, or even in dreams, pay attention. It could be the universe, nudging you to get serious about your growth. Not to rush, but to commit. Not to chase, but to align. Every mindful action you take now is like laying bricks for the life you truly want to live. Number 27. The quiet compass that aligns intuition with divine timing. You're moving through your day. Maybe it's chaotic. Maybe just another routine. And then you catch it, that number again, 27. It could be on the back of a delivery truck, buried in a phone number, or quietly staring back from your shopping receipt. At first you shrug it off, but then it appears again and again. It's not loud. It doesn't shout for your attention. It just shows up softly, like a gentle nudge from the universe. While some numbers burst into your awareness like alarms, 27 works differently. It doesn't demand. It whispers. It doesn't arrive when you're chasing answers. It tends to surface when you're finally still enough to receive them. That's the true nature of its power. It mirrors your readiness, not your urgency, in the realm of spiritual understanding, especially through insights drawn from Buddhist thought and ancient numerology. 27 has always been a symbol of divine timing. It may not be the most celebrated or flashy number in sacred texts, but its presence is deliberate. It tends to emerge when you're approaching a crossroads, often one you didn't even realize was forming in the background. That's not chance. That's your energy syncing up with the subtle rhythm of the universe. The number 2 symbolizes emotional intelligence, empathy, balance, harmony in relationships. It's the number of connection. And 7, that's the soul of the seeker. Inner wisdom, spiritual reflection, and the courage to follow truth, even when the path is unclear. Together, they form 27, a powerful fusion of heart and mind, of calm clarity. There's also a fascinating pattern. In the second half of July, 27 often appears alongside spiritually charged numbers like 11, 4, and 33. In numerology, such alignment suggests that a spiritual shift is not only possible, it's already beginning to take shape. You don't need to decode every detail. You just need to be present enough to notice. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, you're not here to control everything. You're here to trust the unfolding. So, if 27 continues showing up in your world, it may be asking you to stop forcing decisions and start aligning them with your deeper truth. Not from pressure, but from peace. Number 14. The silent builder of real change. Sometimes, the universe doesn't shout. It whispers. And, if you're not present, you might miss the most important signals, meant just for you. Number 14 isn't here to impress you with flashes of luck or wild coincidences. Instead, it shows up quietly, in the corners of your daily life, as if it's patiently waiting for you to pause and notice. Have you ever glanced at your phone at 14:014 or flipped to page 14 in a book that suddenly spoke to your current struggle? That's not just a quirk. That's presence. A subtle nudge. Because number 14 isn't loud. It's intentional. In Buddhist thought, not all transformation is sudden. True change is often slow, deliberate, and rooted in patience. And that's the spirit of 14. It's the reminder that real breakthroughs don't come from chaos. They come from centered effort and internal harmony. The number 1 is about beginnings, but not just external ones. Internal awakenings. It's that quiet moment when you decide, this is no longer enough. When you realize you're meant for more. That spark may not be visible to others yet, but inside, it marks the start of your evolution. The number 4 brings grounding. It's the structure and consistency that keep you aligned when motivation fades. Together, 1 and 4 make 14, a code for transformation that lasts. It tells you, Yes, begin boldly, but build with intention. Maybe you've had a major life moment that connects to 14. A turning point that began on the 14th day of a month, a home you lived in with the number 14, or even a price tag that stuck with you. Sometimes, we dismiss these repetitions. But spiritual teachings, especially in Buddhism, remind us. Patterns are not mistakes. They are maps. If you've been seeing 14 again and again, don't ignore it. It could be your soul's way of nudging you toward action. Not reckless action, but aligned movement, rooted in clarity, purpose, and vision. Let this number guide you. Let it remind you that slow progress is still progress. And the strongest foundations are the ones built in silence over time. Because the kind of abundance that lasts, it doesn't just show up. It's earned through focus, mindfulness, and trusting the signs around you. And just when you think the journey is over, we have one final bonus number to explore. One that's often overlooked, yet holds an extraordinary frequency of manifestation. For those who are truly listening, let's keep going. Bonus number 33. The quiet force behind purposeful abundance. If you're still watching this, it means you're not just chasing luck. You're seeking alignment. And for those who stay till the very end, there's a number that doesn't shout for attention, but works quietly in the background to shift everything in your favor. That number is 33. Unlike other numbers that burst in with intensity, 33 is soft-spoken, almost invisible, but incredibly powerful. It doesn't chase the spotlight. Instead, it waits patiently for those who are truly paying attention. It's the number that whispers when the world gets too loud. It's subtle, but not weak. It's rare, but not unreachable. In Buddhist numerology and ancient spiritual systems, 33 is a master number, a rare kind of energy that transcends simple luck. While most numbers relate to specific traits, like ambition or creativity, 33 speaks to the higher self, the part of you that leads with compassion, that grows in silence, and that gives without expectation. It represents a harmony between wisdom and service, between knowing your power and choosing to use it gently. The single-digit 3 carries the energy of creativity, self-expression, and spiritual curiosity. But when it becomes 33, it becomes a higher vibration of purpose-driven leadership. It's the energy of the healer, the mentor, the one who uplifts without ever needing to be seen. And this kind of energy, it doesn't fade. It builds momentum in silence. Interestingly, when we traced past data, the number 33 kept appearing in the background of unexpected success stories, not just in lottery draws, but in personal breakthroughs and big life changes. It doesn't demand control. It suggests direction. It guides. In many traditions, it's seen as a sacred or angelic symbol, a sign that unseen forces are supporting you, especially during transitions. Whether you're stepping into a new phase of life, healing from something heavy, or trying to reconnect with your purpose, this number is a quiet affirmation. You're on the right path. Keep going, but go gently. If that message speaks to your soul, type this in the comments below. I invite the power of 33 into my life with peace, purpose, and clarity. If this message moved something in you, please like this video, subscribe to Buddhism Trail, and share it with someone who's been searching for deeper meaning. Together, let's build a space where spiritual insight meets real-world clarity, where ancient wisdom helps us thrive in the present. Until next time, stay mindful, stay aligned, and remember, sometimes the softest signals are the ones we're meant to follow. I'll see you in the next video.